Hi, everybody. My name is Chelsea,
I'm Angelica.
and together we're
Two Random Girls.
So welcome back to another episode. And
Yes.
today we're gonna be talking about a topic that Angelica knows a little bit more about.
Yes. And a series of random things, but basically we're gonna be talking about Kaitlin and Mirko and Francesco. Rest in peace. But basically it was supposed to be like a surprise for Chelsea. Like I was gonna tell her what it was about, but basically she caught up a little bit. But
Yeah.
I'll do a little rundown.
Okay.
Caitlin is this girl who dated Francesco for 10 years, and they were high school sweethearts. They were on and off, but they were a very famous couple on TikTok. They would prank each other a lot. But they were on and off, so like they had problems, but like like any other couple, they got back together. And he had cancer in the past while he was with her, but he overcame it, and then everything was good until he got cancer again, and unfortunately he passed away from the cancer. So it's been 3 years since he passed away, and I've been following her since she like said that he had cancer again, the whole process, right? And after he passed away, she showed a lot of her grief, like her life after it, how she's been overcoming it, how she's been thinking of dating again. Um how when it first happened she was like, I'm never even planning on dating, like I can't even think about it. Her TikTok still says CEO of Francesco's heart, like everything. And throughout the years she would have little things where she's like, oh, Francesco, like for example, she said Francesco told me before he died that he would always show up to my things, like if I saw a blue balloon or something, right? And one day there was like a blue balloon in her house randomly, and it was like just in the middle of like, I don't remember if it was her having a bad day, but basically throughout the years she had a lot of signs from him, and everyone would be like, wow, that's so beautiful, and she's really close to his parents, everything. And throughout the 3 years, she became really close to his best friend, Mirko. And um, basically, they would make TikToks about how they would talk about him, remind each other about Francesco. And throughout the TikToks, people were like, oh, you guys are going to fall in love. Are you guys dating? Da 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 da. Then 2 years, so a year ago she posted a TikTok being like, guys, like no, we're not dating, but we're gonna take a break from like even hanging out with each other, because like I don't know why you guys keep saying that when we're like literally just best friends. He's been there for me, I've been there for him, and that's like literally nothing else but that, right? And then fast forward, she one day says a dream that she had. So before Francesco passed away, in his room, he was already sick, and he told Caitlin, when I like if something happens to me, I'm gonna send you your next man, and you're gonna know it's I sent it, because he's gonna be curated by me, and he's gonna be the perfect man for you. And she was like, oh, like be quiet, I'm never gonna date anybody, like obviously. And then one day Caitlin had a dream, and in the dream, um Francesco's like, Caitlin, like why aren't you seeing dummy, like he's right in front of you, like I already sent you your man. And she's like, who, like you literally haven't sent me anyone. And Francesco was like, yes I have. And then he turns her around, and it was Miracle standing in front of her. So that was the dream. She said it on TikTok, and she was like that's crazy. Like Francesco, like blah blah blah, whatever. She was like, Miracle's my best friend. He did send me a man, just not romantically. He just sent me a best friend, right? And then now everyone was saying, because she was like, I fell in love this summer. I'm taking like da da da, and everyone was like, it's Miracle, commenting, and then she started reposting things. And then when she came back from Coachella, she posted a video of her opening the door to the song Ordinary. I forgot the, yeah, that one, and her hugging Miracle. And then now it's confirmed she's dating Miracle, the her ex-boyfriend that passed away, best friend. So then some people, well, actually I haven't really seen anybody not agree with it. but everyone's really happy for her from what I've seen. But also, I'm on the side of TikTok where I'm super happy for her. I think it's a beautiful love story. Um, I mean, obviously, like, rest in peace to Francesco, but I do think, like, I think the dream of him saying he sent her and, like, he sent him and, like, it's like the two people that he loved the most. Like, why wouldn't he want someone like that for his girlfriend? Okay, now your thoughts.
Um, so when I first watched a video, it was also of somebody very happy for her. So, um, it was only one video I watched, and in the comments, it was only some like stragglers, like somebody being like, am I the only one that finds it weird that she's dating her dad's boyfriend's best friend? But then people were like, oh, he was cheating on her anyways, like
Oh my god.
her boyfriend, like apparently before he died.
I mean, they did have ups and downs, like I said. They were on and off, but it's because they were a little toxic when they were young. Like when she went to college, and she would be at parties, and he'd be mad at her. And then like they both, I think, like messed with somebody else while they were on a break. But then when they came back together, but I don't think a man in stage 5 cancer is cheating on a girl. But
I think that I don't think they mean before like. Well, I mean that would be crazy.
that'd be crazy. But men are also
That's what I'm
known
saying,
to
don't
be
put it
crazy.
past a
Yeah.
man.
But I really don't like. I don't. Okay, I might be wrong. I don't know. I don't think he ever cheated on her. I know that when they were on a break, they like were talking to other people. He might have cheated, but she accepted him, so like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like I get it could be like weird. Like I know like if God forbid something happens to me and then like Alejandro goes
I was about to say I would never accept. Me personally in the spirit world, I would make someone new. I don't know. I wouldn't want that.
I feel like, but I don't know. I feel like if I wouldn't want anybody new. I would want someone that I know their heart is pure, and like I think it's just because she didn't jump and dated him, right? Like this was 3 years after he died, and I think them being together every single day, crying over this man, them grieving together, like him protecting her, like they would do everything together. Like I don't think they did it like they didn't go in with ill intent, you know? They went in it with just really trying to get over him. Like not over him, but like trying to grieve his loss, and I think it's kind of beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any like I don't think it's bad per se,
Yeah.
but I think I will say like you don't know, like just because they said it now, like that's what's happening. You don't know how long they've actually been dating.
Yeah.
They could have been dating this entire time, and they are just now letting people know.
That is true.
They also could have went into it with ill intentions too. The dream also could just be a guilty conscience.
Well, okay, then she's a mastermind of being deceiving and mean.
I mean, like if she did actually have the dream, it really could just be
like
she already liked him, and her instead of him being a message from him, it's her mind trying to make her feel okay
Yeah.
liking him.
That's true. Like she did the time that she did take a break is she did admit it was because she was catching like they were catching feelings for each other. And obviously the comments were seeing that too. So they took a 2-month break of talking to each other because they both were like, we can't do this, like you're his ex-girlfriend and I'm his best friend, you know?
Okay. I will also say too, like if you hang out with someone like
all the time
and
it's
everything,
hard.
and you're also like emotionally like relying on them and stuff, like yeah, those lines like probably will like blur. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like I think, and I feel like like me that followed her this whole time, I'm like the lines definitely were blurring. Like everyone was like, why are you making couples content with him, you know?
Yeah,
but she was like, well, he's my friend, like my only guy friend. literally maybe her only friend in that moment. Like I feel like they just got so close because they both understood, they both lost like someone really close to them, you know?
Yeah, and that does happen a lot, like
Yeah.
in like real life too.
Yeah, and like and
I mean, they are real life.
yeah, I was like but and she would hang out, like it wouldn't just like, it didn't start just them hanging out together, cuz apparently they used to hate each other, like when he was alive. They used to hate each other because he didn't like her because like obviously like he saw all the ups and downs and how when she was at college partying, like he didn't like that for his friend, and she didn't like him because, well, what you telling him what you don't like, you know, it's he's my boyfriend, you know. So they didn't like each other. And then when they did start hanging out, it was because of his passing and with his family, because she was really close to his family. And she just recently went to his family's house, like asking like like not asking for permission, but like saying like now she's dating him. And like she did a TikTok, she hasn't like fully said that they're dating, but a basic TikTok, she was like, I'm so happy that everyone around me accepts me or accepts it and is like okay with it, because that's what they were most afraid of, because they were like, obviously it's like uh, awkward, like especially if I was the mom and I'm like, what the, you know.
Mm.
But like I think they love her and they know how pure she is, that they're like, I'm happy she's happy. That's what she said. She was like, I'm glad people around me are just happy that I'm happy. I don't know.
Well, I mean, good for them if they're like really in love, and if he like is happy for them, then
Yeah, it's like I just feel like, of course, now I wouldn't be like, yeah, when if I ever die, God forbid, I want you to date Alejandro, right? Like, obviously, and I'm not gonna force you.
Sorry. You're making me sound like that horse again.
but I'm like, I feel like once like something happens to you and you see the person that you love, the two people that you love hurt so hard, and you can't like he can't come back from the dead, you know? So he's probably like, well, this is the solution. Like, I don't think I'd be mad unless it was the next day and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
these people were waiting for this to happen, you know? Like,
Yeah.
these people were plotting. But if it's like years after, I think I'd be like, I'm happy for them. No, I was gonna make a bad joke. I was gonna say, oh my god, watch it happen. Then me 10 years after, I told you everything was fake. But no,
Wait, what happened?
if I died,
Oh my god.
that's why I said that was a bad joke. I'm so sorry, God. But yeah. Do you have anything else to say?
Um. Nah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna tell you something funny that happened to me
Oh,
yesterday.
tell me.
Just a random thing. So I was babysitting this little Indian girl yesterday, and we were talking about like, bro, like when I put her to sleep, we're both shattered boxes, bro. She was supposed to sleep at 8, right? We were up till 9:30 talking, and I was gonna say her name. I was like, girl, we can't, like, I can't put you to bed. I just love talking to you. And she's like, I know, my God, we chat so much. And I was like, she's like 8, guys, but she be chatting good though. And then she was like basically telling me that she went to India, right? And she was like, do you ever plan on going to India though? And I was like, yeah, I do. And she was like, let me tell you though beforehand. I was like, okay. And then she was like, in some places it smells. And I was like, oh. But then she told me the places that it didn't smell, and I was like, oh, good. So just in case, guys, apparently New Delhi smells a lot, and she didn't like the smell there, but the Taj Mahal smells good. And I was like, cool, cool. And then basically she just kept talking because I knew she didn't also she didn't want to sleep. So she knew that, oh, I got the chatterbox, the babysitter. I know how to get her. So then basically she was telling me how she had this crazy dream that in her school they were like, today we're gonna learn languages, and the two languages that we offer are is Indian a language? Hindu and Parkesh, I think she said. I don't remember, but she said two Indian dialects, right? And then she was like, and when they said Parkesh, or I don't remember which one she said, I was like, oh my God, what? what? They never offer this. This is the best news ever. They always only offer Spanish or any other Mexican language.
What? There's only one.
I was dying because I was like, bro, you'd be canceled in 2 seconds, girl. You'd be canceled. And I was like, and I started laughing. And then I was like, oh, and I don't know what we started talking about Spanish. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, she was like, my friend, she's from Venezuela. I think she just crossed. No, she didn't say that. Sorry, no. I was gonna make her really racist. Though. She was like, I think she just migrated here or immigrated here. And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, she speaks fluent Spanish. I was like, oh yeah, she does. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I speak fluent Spanish. And she was like, oh, you're Spanish? And I was like, girl, what'd you think I was? And she was like, Colombian. And I started dying. And I was like, yeah, like in Colombia we speak Spanish. And Colombia is right next to Venezuela. Almost all of South America speaks Spanish. She was like, that makes so much sense. And I don't know what she said, but she said something a little racist too, but I just let it slide. But that one, when she rolled her eyes and was like Spanish and any other Mexican language, and I was like, oh my god, what do your parents be telling you?
She's so funny for that, bro.
She's so silly.
And I want to know what other Mexican languages, like.
I think she meant French. Because I told her the only ones that they offer are Spanish and French.
Yeah.
But she said Spanish and, all the other Mexican languages. And I was like,
what's going on in that school? What they offer it?
The Incas or no.
Imagine the old
ancient Mexican languages. Nah, she's just racist for real.
That's so funny.
It was so funny. I was like, oh my god, my poor girl.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
She's funny.
Thank you. That was my random thing. But now we're on to Chelsea's topic.
Oh. Yeah, so I'll give you guys some backstory.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew these people through somebody else, and so it was a couple, a man and a woman. The man had a couple health issues, like I think like his fingers, they were webbed. He was blind in one eye, like he couldn't, like
How old was he?
just like a young man, like 27, 28. Yeah, like he had a really hard life. He had like a lot of
Medical things.
medical issues and like disabilities, and his wife had like ADHD or something. Like she had something too, but it wasn't like
That's severe.
yeah, it wasn't like, it obviously still affected her, but not to, like, her quality of life wasn't as severely affected as his was. And they really wanted to have children. Like, they really wanted to have kids really badly. So they had a son, and he was also born with a lot of medical issues. Like, his fingers were webbed. He couldn't really see. He was like I don't know, like, is this word you could say, like, deformed? I don't know. I'm saying I don't know if that's proper.
It's giving wonder.
He was a little.
The book.
I know the book you're talking about. I saw the movie.
Beautiful. I love that book and movie. Sorry. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Sorry, that's why I killed it.
No, it sounded like I was a professor. Beautiful. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. But sorry. Oopsie. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
I don't know, like, what the proper term was. Like,
Disabled.
He was disabled, yes, but like he was like
Abnormal.
I feel like I don't know what the
That's
proper.
worse.
I feel like it's worse. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
Had,
Like, he had some
abnormalities?
disformities.
Okay.
Disformities.
We
like,
both got to the same thing.
yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I just said abnormalities and you said deformities. But yeah, you guys understand.
You understand. I just don't know really. It was a child. I don't know how to like
Explain
just
it.
explain it, like what's the medical term, but he had some like issues and things that like altered his face, so like he didn't look like, oh,
Regular.
I feel like these words are bad, like I don't know, like he, yeah,
Common.
yeah, like the basic model of a child, he didn't look like the basic model of a child.
They're just making it worse.
I don't, oh my god,
Yeah.
this is a really difficult topic, I guess, but yeah, and he was really sick. He had a bunch of issues. Like he had to have so many surgeries. He wasn't able to eat. Like he wasn't able to do. I mean, he could eat, but like he wasn't able to feed himself. Um, like he wasn't following the normal like pattern like of a child at that age, which is normal for a lot of kids too. But like given the fact that he was in and out of the hospital, surgery, he got sick so easily, like he was always sick. Whew. um and unfortunately he passed away.
Oh my god. How old was he?
He was 5. It was 5 or 7. But so I guess like my question is, are the parents wrong?
I think, honestly, while you were saying this, I'm like, why didn't they just adopt?
Yeah, that was a question that I had too, because at that point I feel like it's selfish, and obviously like you want a child. There's a lot of people who want children, but I feel like your need and desire for a child shouldn't outweigh the quality that the child of the life the child could have.
Yeah.
You, and I don't know who's worse, as the woman or the man, like you see that he's, you know who you're married to, and you know the life he's had, everything he's went through as a child, how hard it was for him just to make it to this age.
Well, maybe she saw that, and and since he still wanted a kid, and he still lived his life, she was like, well, if he did,
I'll take the risk.
yeah.
I feel like what, at the very least, I know it's like expensive to get like DNA testing and stuff like that. But I told my sister that, and she was like, DNA testing, why they need to do it for? They have eyes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, like
they knew.
They knew what they were getting into.
Yeah.
But
like obviously it was a high risk.
Yeah.
It wasn't for sure, but they had to know.
Yeah.
But then this brings like another question, like what about kids, like the couples with autism or Down syndrome that have kids?
I don't think it's the same. This man,
or the little ones.
What? I don't, I feel like those people are, it's not the same. Like, you know what I mean? He had a lot of issues. Like, I'm talking, he's alive. He has a lot of issues.
Yeah, but then it's like it gets to a point where it's like, what deformity
That's
is,
what I'm saying.
you know,
it's
because
like literally eugenics.
Yeah, imagine like blind people. So now blind people can't have kids.
But I don't think that if you're blind people and deaf people have kids all the time.
Yeah,
and it's fine. I don't think being blind or being deaf is hard. You know what I mean? But it's not something that requires you to be in. It's not painful. These like Down syndrome is not painful. Autism isn't like physical pain. No. It doesn't cause these people.
Oh, and you said it is hard. Okay.
The child was in and out of the hospital. He had like physical pain, and the father also had pain, so he knew it was painful. He, you know what I'm saying? If I had,
I think that's what brings it different, because the father's probably like, well, if I do it, he could do it too.
Why would you put that on a child?
Because he probably is like in his head, he probably doesn't even think about it that way, because he's like, well, if my parents even decided to not have me, then I wouldn't be here, and I'd rather be here than not.
But there's a way. You went out of your way to have a child.
Were
your
his parents not
probably
like that?
I mean, his parents were not like that. No. Like something happened, like I don't know his upbringing. I don't know if it was like, you know what I mean, but if his parents weren't like that. So like he knows that he's like that. So to go out of your way to like birth a child that you know will come with all of these health complications. That poor baby lived 5 years and doing what?
Yeah.
Why did he have to be born? Maybe he saw the sky. He got to play. He didn't get to play around that much.
But like I saw a little TikTok that made me cry, but it was like it's like this theory where like God or like any superior shows you a video of your life, and if you're alive, it's because you chose to live it.
Mm.
So like, let's say that's true. He chose to say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this isn't like it can't be an argument because obviously it's like a what if, but like I don't know. I think like you know how they do those DNA tests like on pregnant people. You think like if your child, God forbid, they said, "Oh, they have these problems," you would say,
If they said my child will be like have a hard life, like in pain, will like if my child just has Down syndrome or autism. I mean, can they even show you autism in the
um, I don't know about autism, but Down syndrome,
yeah
things like
Down
that. Yeah.
syndrome? Yeah, dwarfism you could see too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, like dwarfism or Down syndrome, like obviously like no,
Really?
yeah,
Because for me, I think I'm the opposite.
what
If I see any of that, I would be like,
really?
because like I understand it's not hard. Like maybe I mean it's hard, but maybe not as hard as like the story that we're talking about. But still, it comes with a lot of like bullying, self consciousness. I don't have it. I wouldn't know how to like
Yeah,
make your life better, you know? And like obviously they could have a good wonderful life, but also it's like I think a lot of times like just hard on them, like I don't know. But this it also sounds like I'm like then nobody with dwarfism deserves to live like that's not
sorry.
that's not what I'm trying to say at all.
Yeah,
But like I feel like that's what I'm saying.
no, I don't think that's what you're saying. That's the thing. Like when you talk about these topics, it feels like you can't say like what you think because it's like ableist. It sounds like ableist. It sounds like you're preaching eugenics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do think if you have the option to not have a child that will have to suffer, and not only that too, it's okay to admit that sometimes you will suffer too.
Yeah.
Like,
It's already so hard to raise a child.
yeah.
And then you put this on top of it. It's like hard, especially if you don't have
That's
money.
what I say. It's like being poor, and then you see that
Yeah.
your child is coming with all of these things, and
You'll be even more poor. Like,
yeah,
and it's like I think like life is already hard as it is. Imagine with a disability or imagine with something on top of it. Like there's so many people with disabilities that make their like life like so amazing and stuff, but it's at the end of the day it's always going to be hard, you know? It's definitely like if they ask somebody with no hands and me whose life is harder. Right? Oh my god.
me too, bro.
Oh my god. I've
Um,
been holding it back.
I'm seeing stars.
I have to leave that in. I can't even take that out. That was so funny, bro.
No, but yeah, like, and also too, like, you could obviously, it's different if you have a choice whether or not to not bring someone who's gonna be like who's gonna have it harder.
Yeah.
and it just happens like later in life. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
people could be born without disabilities, and then later in life, it
Yeah.
happens through sickness, through whatever accidents or anything. But I think that's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you choosing.
It's like sometimes it feels like you're choosing
For
against
your
all odds.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like God is telling you like think about it, and you're like, no, F it, I'm still gonna do it because I want a kid, and that's when it becomes selfish because it's like that little kid isn't asking for nothing,
Yeah.
and then it's also even selfish because there's kids like if you want a kid, why does it have to be like that means then you don't see kids as kids because like I don't know, like if I like my plan is to adopt, right? And those are gonna be my kids. Just because they don't come out of me doesn't mean they're not my kids, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if I could, I wouldn't have a baby. I'll be honest. It takes 10 years out of my looks. It just changes up my whole body system. My vagina never gonna be the same. Like, I don't know. Like, it scares me. It's the risk factor on girls' lives when they have kids. It's like super high. I'd rather adopt, and I would still be happy. Like, my goal is just to have children.
To raise a child. Yeah.
Yeah, to raise a child, and like in my head, like they'll be my child. Like I would never be like, you didn't come out of me, so you're like, you know. I mean, obviously they could say that to me and it'll hurt
Yeah.
me, but yeah, I don't know.
I agree. I think that's also the issue too, that they just feel this like the need to just have a biological child
Yeah,
because that's the way they feel like that's the only.
I think it's also superiority. Like a lot of girls, or like girls are like, I haven't seen this. I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to get pregnant, or what, like my age is trying to, or like around me. But I've seen in movies where like some girls are like, I'm not a girl, I can't conceive, like I
Oh,
can't,
I'm not a
you know,
woman.
yeah, I'm not enough of a woman. And then some guys, when they can't, when their sperm doesn't work, they're like, I'm not a man, I can't, you know. And it's also like a sense of like, what is that like?
Inferiority.
Yeah, like feeling superior when you birth a child, or especially for men when they're like they're the ones gonna carry my last name.
And you get it too because also some women too are like, oh, I birthed this child
Yeah,
without any like
yeah. Any
painkillers.
painkillers?
Like I did it natural. Like
Whoop
it's
de
like
doo, girl.
some
Like who
like
cares?
yeah.
Like you think I'm gonna be in that pain? I'm not gonna ask for. After I had my kidney stone, I know for a fact I wanted to not give birth. I mean, I wanted to give birth. I don't want to give birth, but it'll have to be done if, like, you know, if that's what God intends. But um, without the pain medicine, because they say epidural. It's epidural.
Mhm.
Epidural could mess up your back. It's
Yeah.
like scary. Like it could paralyze you and stuff like that. But I know we're humans. When we're in pain, what are we gonna ask for? A remedy. Like
Yeah.
love is clarity. Why are you
Oh.
my remedy? But yeah, like I'm gonna need that remedy.
Yeah.
If I- I don't have to hit it. I knew the laugh was about to come out. I had to do it one more time. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. It's scary.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of videos where girls are like, I literally said no, no, no to epidural, but once that thing came in, I was like, give it to me, like.
Yeah. No, I could see it. And that's why I'm just saying too, like honestly just think about it and just not like I feel like wanting a kid above like all else, like no matter what, is just wrong. Because
Yeah.
also just think about it too, what you're saying, like you're birthing, like in this scenario of the lady and the man I was talking about, she went through all of that pain to bring into this world a child she knew would also carry pain every single day,
Yeah.
and who she knew had a very high chance of dying young.
And also, that's even worse. Like, even you're being selfish and also not even thinking about yourself because you don't think that's gonna bring pain to see the person that you love the most in pain.
Mm-hmm. Having a hard life.
No, that's so hard to see.
Like it's literally so hard to see. It's so hard.
I can't imagine it. And then you see them die.
all the surgeries and everything, and when you think about it too, in the end, maybe it was worth it to you to see something like
what
you,
could come? Yeah, but like
but
for
like
what?
for literally for what?
For what? Because if you really love children, you'll love any child.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, if I see a little baby, a toddler, I adopt him, that's my child. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care. I would never think, oh, he didn't come out of my vagina, it's not the same. Like, But some
Yeah.
people say, like, my mom tells me every time I tell her I don't, like, I'm scared of giving birth, and like, if I could hire a woman, like
Surrogate. Yeah.
a surrogate, I will do it. Like, if I had money, I really would do it. And maybe that's also being me selfish, because I don't want the baby to take 10 years out of my life. I don't want that risk.
But is that why you're doing? Like for me, I'm afraid to have a baby, like only because I'm can't handle pain, and I'm just afraid of the pain.
Like for me it's I'm scared. I don't, when I think about the fact about me having a belly, I don't think, oh my god, so adorable. I think that's gross. I think like having a baby push on my tummy.
Oh my god, are you one of the women with that phobia of pregnancy?
Maybe I do have a phobia.
There's like that phobia.
I think
and
it's
they were
like,
talking about it just like how you
I
are.
don't think it's human. Like, I think it's inhumane. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, my friend Melissa, she every time I tell her about pregnancy, she's like, I can't wait to have a belly. Like, that's what I'm looking forward to. And I'm like, in my head, if I could skip that and just have the baby, I'll be so happy. Like, okay, maybe even having the belly. I don't think maybe I have a phobia. Like, I'll like having a belly, but I don't like that I might have nausea. I don't like that it has so much pain on my back. I don't like the way it changes your body shape. And I'm really scared of having that pain during pregnancy, even though people say that the girls forget the pain, and like, because of such the endorphins or whatever. But I'm scared for the vagina to rip, for the baby to pull my nipple out, even though that's when he's alive already. For the vagina to rip, and then like when the girls have to get stitches, you imagine the pain? My mom tells me that when she peed every time after me, it was so painful. She said that was more painful than giving birth to me. I can't, like, and I had a big ass head, guys. Like, big ass head. I couldn't imagine that poor lady. My mom, her skinny, and when she was giving birth to me, even skinnier. I weigh 130 right now. That girl probably weighed 120, maybe 115. Like, that girl was skinny. 8 pounds. I was born with 8 pounds. You imagine that head.
Yeah.
She had to have like 6 stitches on there. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I don't know how many stitches. I'm sorry, mom. Like, I'm putting her business out here. But like, that's scary. Like, just like the after effects. Like, I just don't. And yeah, the 10 years out of my looks. Come on. I won't lie. Like, that's also something I'm like, oh, do I need to do that? You know?
But who said that it takes 10 years out of your looks? I've seen plenty of mothers who look the same exact way.
Really? Well, no, that's true. I have also, but some of you don't even notice they have a kid. But in a lot of things, they say that a pregnancy takes 10 years off of you.
I feel like it's just I think it's misogyny.
You think so?
Yeah.
They say when you have a girl, the girl takes your looks.
Yeah, I used to, sorry. Yeah. No, that's old wives' tale.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So maybe the 10 years is also old wives' tale.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but if it's true, then that's a reason.
No, because I feel like pregnant women are very beautiful.
I think you see, that's the thing. I don't. No, I think they're beautiful. Like, there's this girl, she was famous on Vine, Lauren something. She had her baby. Her baby's so cute. She was so beautiful pregnant. Like, I think, but I just think she's beautiful. Like, she's beautiful not pregnant. She's beautiful pregnant. But I wouldn't look at a belly and be like, oh, like, I want to touch it. Never do I ever want to touch a pregnant baby's belly.
Really? Have you never touched a pregnant belly?
I have never.
Wow.
But maybe it's because it's never been someone I love. Like, if you were pregnant, if Rebby were pregnant, my mom, but she can't be. But, like, if people I loved, I think I'd be all over that belly. But I've seen random people pregnant. I would never, like, in my head be like, I want to touch it. No.
Yeah.
Oh, especially like see the kicks. That scares me.
The kicks are so weird. Like I had my nephew, like when he was inside my sister's tummy, like he would be kicking my little hand. He'd be hiccuping.
You heard him?
You could see it. Like she'd be like, oh, he just hiccuped. He hiccuped a lot in there.
What?
He's doing crazy things in there.
Did they fart in there?
No, maybe. I know they can't poop. If they poop, like you could die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would they know not to poop, right?
No, they just can't. Their body just can't make them poop.
It's weird.
If they do poop, I think it's like something wrong.
I think they disconnected from the umbilical cord.
Oh, really?
Oh wait, no, because the umbilical cord is where where they get nutrients. Yeah. So what? Their buttholes just shut? Like it's weird.
I wonder. I'll have to Google that.
Yeah, that's a good question. But yeah. So yes. Thank you guys so much for watching.
And don't forget to like,
comment,
subscribe, and we'll see you next time on
Two Random Girls. Bye. Hello guys, and welcome to an episode of Two Random Girls. I'm Angelica.
I'm Alejandro.
And I'm Priscilla.
Good job. Oh my god, Chelsea's gonna see this and she's gonna be like, what the heck happened? Okay, today we're gonna have an anonymous caller call in with her problems, and we're gonna give her advice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello? Oh.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome to Two Random Girls. Today we're gonna be giving you advice.
Okay.
Okay, so what's your problem and how can we help?
My problem right now is that I have 5 boys in my grade who all like me.
That doesn't sound like a problem.
It kind of is because
Yeah.
they're all friends, and I think they're all trolling.
Oh.
Damn.
Okay. So I'm not new with this lingo, but I'm guessing trolling's like they're faking it?
Yes.
Exactly. They're doing it just to be funny.
Yeah. I agree.
You also think they're faking it? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can't
She
be
said-
all 5 people.
She said, why do you think they're trolling? Just because they're friends, or are they doing anything that makes
Because they're very weird and they're middle school boys.
I agree.
But okay, when you were a middle school boy, you didn't have crushes on girls?
I did, but I would never do that because I'm a nice guy.
That's a lie. He did worse in middle school.
In middle school? No.
Isn't that when you broke up with a girl because you wanted to play video games?
No, that was 5th grade. So right before middle school.
I'm in 5th grade.
But in middle school, I was a good boy.
But were you a good boy because you were just going to puberty and nobody was paying attention to you?
I don't know. I guess both.
Okay.
No, I mean, but like, it's not like these guys
Oh,
are getting so much people paying attention to them.
Before we get into it, this is my brother,
Just to clarify.
and I'm his sister, sadly.
Just so you guys know.
Wow, I didn't know that you were her brother and that meant she was your sister.
Exactly.
But okay. I don't know. I feel like if a boy likes you in middle school, they like you, no? Like I don't know.
No.
Well, it can't be 5
No,
people.
listen.
though.
You guys, you're not thinking in the mind of a man.
Okay.
You're not. They're
Well,
just-
my question is,
Yeah.
should I troll back?
How?
Troll back?
Because I don't like any of them. They're all very ugly, very freaky, very horny, very disgusting,
Oh, she's not here.
very weird. Don't do that though.
What do you want? What does trolling back mean?
Trolling back
Trolling
means
is
you
like-
play around with them and then you ghost them after 2 days.
Like
Ooh.
revenge. Like
Wait. What grade are they in?
7.
It's all 7th graders.
7th grade. She said they're horny.
Oh, what?
She said that, right?
Yeah, she said
Yeah,
that.
I mean, in 7th grade.
That's disgusting.
My boy best
It's
friend,
so
I was on
disgusting.
FaceTime with him yesterday and he was humping a pillow.
Oh,
Alright.
that's
Classic.
fantastic.
I think if you are for sure that they're trolling, why not, right? Like,
Yeah, have some fun.
But my advice is don't get yourself in trouble.
that's also true.
That's really
Good
good
job.
advice.
the youngest one has the best
That
advice.
was really
we're
good.
like do it.
I was like, yeah, that one.
It's No, I think that's true. And also, like, are you sure they're all ugly, or you wouldn't catch feelings for any of them?
They're all very ugly.
Are you sure?
You know what? I'm gonna name drop.
Oh,
Wait.
Okay, tell him.
Yeah.
A bop. Wait, what is a bop anyway?
A bop is a boy that goes around doing things.
Can't that be only a boy?
a girl is a bop, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen. The way to get out of dad's curse is just true love.
Like, make them jealous. So
Screw
if
it.
they're not showing, try to make them jealous.
That's true. I think honestly, okay. When I was in middle school, I was very ugly. Nobody liked me.
You're not ugly now.
Thank you, honey.
You're
But-
not ugly now.
Now, but
Back then, I don't know.
but in middle school, I was really ugly. So I don't know. Nobody trolled me, but I definitely trolled. I didn't troll the guy on purpose, but I was obsessed with the guy, and he was
my
super
God.
mean to me. So I think I feel like out of the 5, some of them have to really have a crush on Greek. Oh,
Name drop.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
they have to have a crush on her
I think maybe like,
because she's so pretty.
Exactly.
Like I don't
Wait,
think they're faking
but
it.
I just don't think it's like
50%.
it's like yeah, like that's. I think you're right. Like maybe 1 or 2 guys actually like think you're cute, but then like they're just being assholes.
But what? But are
We're
they
not
being mean to
cursing.
you?
No, they're like my friends. I just like.
we're not cursing
Yeah.
on the podcast.
Yeah,
We'll cut that out.
yeah. I
They're
think,
like your friends, but they're messing around.
Yeah.
I think they're just being like silly guys.
Yeah.
And they think it's funny, and it's like it's definitely funny like for them.
I have one more problem.
Alright, what is it?
Okay, so I dated a guy, right?
uh-huh.
Right?
The 2 months before that, you know what? I'm gonna name drop.
Oh.
I talked to him for 2 months. Yes, I talked to him for 2 months, and the second month he acted like we were dating, right? And then he didn't ask me out until the end of the month. We dated for 1 week. He broke up with me. I'm gonna bring up the text. He broke up with me
Put it on
because.
screen now.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Wait.
Why did he break up with you?
He broke up with me
put
because
it right
he
there.
said, I just generally don't feel like if I put the effort in, we're gonna work out. I respond and I say, this is so stupid too, because I took it serious like for a little bit. I said, I'll stay even if you don't. Look at me trying to be a good person.
Yeah.
Then he said, I understand, but I just generally don't know if I feel the same about you. I'm like, okay, bye.
Uh-huh. Good job.
Do you still
Okay.
talk to him?
No. Here's the thing. April
Good
6th,
question.
we broke up on the 31st. He has unsent a message at 12 a.m.
Red flag. Red flag.
So you didn't see like what he had sent
No.
because you're sleeping.
That next night, he says hi, period. I say hi. I went to his track meet on last Friday. He's
What?
like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. He said, I saw you in the stands. I'm like, yeah, congrats. Okay, we keep on talking, whatever. Then we stop talking. I bring up how he unfollowed me on everything.
Oh.
Then he says, oh, I don't know. I'm like, okay, whatever. Then he follows me again on everything. Then, like a week later, he texts me and he's like, wait. He's like, hello, what are you doing right now? I'm like, I'm making budok noodles. What do you want? And then he says,
Don't bother her what she's
he says, and I drank 3 Red Bulls and I got high.
7th grader.
7th
Eighth
grade.
grader.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's
He's
8.
14.
That's still crazy.
14? Oh my god.
So, I said, I thought you were doing better. Because before this, he was having problems at home or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
He said, I was, but I just started smoking again. And I just sleep, smoke in school, and don't get any work done. I'm like,
Did he think that was gonna be attractive?
God.
that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, well, you know you can talk to me or
That's where you
whatever.
messed up.
You
He
know,
said-
if he keeps doing that, he's gonna die soon.
Okay, he said,
Yeah.
yes, that's why I wanted to text you, because I was about to smoke. He said, I was about to go smoke a blunt and more weed.
A blunt.
And then he said, what if I do and just kill myself? I'm like, no digas eso. And I'm just like, you're just going to be stuck in that. So then he says, I promise, whatever, right? And then we start talking like everything. And then he says, yeah, I miss you. And then I said, oh. And then I'm just like, okay, I don't know what to say. And then we text whatever. He said, okay, I'm going to sleep. Then he blocks me on everything.
What?
What's going on?
Okay. I think what's going on is that he wants someone to be there to like tell him not to smoke, not to da
Wait,
da da.
I have to interrupt.
Okay.
He's my best friend's school bop.
Okay.
So what should I do?
Got it. So this whole time it's been
Should
about,
I go back if he comes back, or should I stay away? Because I'm on the side of staying away.
I'm also on the side
Ready.
of staying away.
I'll give really good advice.
Okay, I'll go first, then we'll go in line, okay? I think you should stay away for multiple reasons. One of them being he just wants to smoke and drink Red Bulls. And I think, like...
That sounds like...
I think
Sounds
he's
like you.
Yeah, but I hate him every time he does. So, domestic violence.
The Red Bull part, Brisley.
Yeah, yeah. But, what's it called? He's in 8th grade doing this. I don't think he's a good influence.
Yeah.
And I think
Okay.
the reason he blocked you was because he was probably like, he stopped getting, like, he got hot, and then he was like, oh, I don't need a girl that is gonna tell me, oh, this is bad, because this is what I want to do. And I think he's just in it to, like, have someone to talk to, but he don't know his mind.
Okay. Alright, time for the real advice. Coming from a guy.
I have the best advice.
Alright, second best advice. I mean, honestly, dude, like, a guy at that age has no idea what he's doing, especially if he's doing stuff like that. Like, and I think guys just mature emotionally a lot slower than women. Like you, do you want a relationship with the guy that likes you?
Sure.
Right? A lot of guys at that age, like, they might think girls are pretty and, like, they're hot and whatever, and like you said, whatever
Okay.
that horny word. But,
Horny word.
like, he's in 8th grade. Like, this is just me in the mind of a guy in 8th grade. Like, I'm looking forward to high school. Like, the next 4 years, like, oh, high school is cool, right? Like, that's when you start being a teenager for real and doing teenager stuff. And so, I just think this guy thinks you're cute, but he's too immature to actually go into real commitment. And, like, you need to understand that that's probably going to be the case for all the guys you meet the next 2 or 3 years. And even, like, when you're a senior in high school, like, dude, when I was a senior in high school, I was not like the guy I am now, right? Like, I matured a lot more. Yeah, exactly, right? And, like, mind you, I think like, if you put me, like, in a group of 100 guys, I think, like, I'm one of the better ones. Right? Like, I think I'm more mature than most guys for my age due to, like, my life and, like, the things I've been through. But even then, I was still way too immature to, like, even be in a serious relationship because I was selfish. And most guys are selfish, especially if they're Hispanics. Because they're all mama's boys.
He's Mexican.
And my mom's, right, all moms spoil their sons. And, like, they're used to that spoiled treatment, and they look through that in you. That's why he's telling you all these problems. He wants that comfort, but he doesn't want to commit to the relationship. And that's going to be, you're going to find that's a very common theme with all guys. But then you might meet a guy that's, like, sweet and he actually likes you and stuff, but then you probably won't like that guy. And that's the duality of high school. And so I would say just
you connected it.
have fun.
It goes there.
Have fun have the most fun you can, but be safe and, you know, don't get your feelings hurt and
The other one.
don't get arrested. But to answer your first situation, those guys, it's the same thing, right? They're all immature. They all think that's funny. And as long as you know that, then you can do whatever you want. You just have to be smarter than them, which I know you will. You will be and you are. So be good. Just be smart enough to play the game with them if you want to do that. And you can also be smart enough to just ignore them. But the key thing is just be smarter than them always. And never let them, you know, take control of your life. Because that's what they want to do. They just want to, you know, fuck around.
Find out.
see how much they can fuck with you. And yeah. So that's my advice. Guys are idiots. And the guys that are actually like loving and caring. What do you think, Risa? You go now. I'm done.
That was very good advice.
Very passionate.
We
Yeah.
we
That's
didn't
just
need
real,
a whole
dude.
entire essay about advice.
No, I don't get to give you guys too much advice, so this is a good
Mine's
time.
just short
Okay.
and simple. Okay. I'm on like the middle. I'm in the middle, like 50. Okay. I'll tell you why. I'll tell
She's
you why.
toxic, but
Okay.
She said, I like it when they smoke and drink Red Bulls.
Okay. First, like what Alex said, like you might want to stay away from those type of people because they might just like how do I explain? Like they might just like convince you since they're so high instead for like doing that because he's
Yeah,
14.
yeah.
He's not supposed to be doing that. He can get in a whole lot of trouble.
True.
Okay.
Or maybe not. Maybe that's why he's angry.
To agree, like first, like you might want like if he starts like talking back, like starting to like unblock you, just like have like a little tiny conversation with him, and then like if he just keeps repeating that, then just go away forever, cause that's his decision. That's his like that's his choice.
I don't know. She's eating it up right now. She's going in. That's really good.
Very deep.
Yeah.
I agree.
You don't want that stuff to happen to you because you're not that type of person to do that. So I feel like Julian needs to like stop, focus on his life before he gets in like a lot of trouble. Why are you laughing at me?
No, that's
I'm not laughing. You can't see me. I'm on the phone.
Yeah, she's on the phone.
Oh,
good.
But I agree. I think like if he texts you again,
Dude, like-
you just block him, and that will make him. Okay, that will make him want you even more because he's gonna be like, "Dang, this girl stands on business, blah blah blah."
Business.
But I think honestly, it's just you don't need that in your life, and you don't owe him an explanation as to, hey, the reason I'm not talking to you is because of this and this. Because he'll be like, I'll change, and then he'll never change, and it's like, I don't think she like if he comes back and answers,
is
you
that-
just leave him on red.
Is that like is what he's doing like what stopped the relationship? No, it wasn't that.
He broke up with her.
He broke up.
But it had nothing to do with
Oh,
like his
wait,
habits.
no.
can I tell you about my drama?
Yeah, let's
Wait,
wrap this up real
yeah,
quick.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is, I lost all feelings for him, like based on like what he was doing. But like I still think he looks good. But like I'm never going back to that.
Dude, but it's like you're gonna find guys that look better,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I was
And-
gonna
and
say
then you
look
might-
better and do things
and
that
then-
you
I
like.
have
you-
a picture.
and then you might
Let me
even
s-
like
I want-
start liking a guy that looks worse. Like,
Yeah.
I know that sounds stupid.
Okay. Well, I upgraded from one to the next, and now I have to go like
Above.
yeah.
But not everything is looks. But like right now for you it is, honestly, because you guys are all
Yeah.
idiots.
But
Right.
I also like what Alejandro was saying. I think is true. Like especially in that age, like it's really no real relationship.
especially,
you
like-
think it is.
Oh my god, I don't even want to get into this.
Like you, like in that age, I know I was like, I'm gonna marry this person.
Oh, you should see how much he said. I'm gonna marry you. I promise.
Yeah.
All this and that. I was
oh
like,
my
okay.
god.
It's just what is said in that age. You're like, oh my god, everything's gonna be about you. And then years pass, and you're like, what? Like I think back at my 8th grade, my first kiss, and I'm like, I don't.
Who was it?
It was this guy named Ali.
Prince Ali.
But yeah, you don't even think back. I think it gets serious maybe middle of high school, like junior year. I had my first real serious relationship, I think.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you about my drama.
I'm not going
But
back.
boys do mature really late. It's better not to even
Yeah.
have a relationship with
No, I
them.
think you can be good. I've seen good relationships.
2, 1.
Birds having fun. Birds having fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Birds having fun. Oh, birds having fun. Oh, oh. Birds having fun. Birds having fun. He's floating on the water.
Floating on the water.
He's floating on the water.
He's floating on the water.
He's floating on his angry.
Floating on his angry.
And sipping on that honey.
And sipping on that honey.
Birds having fun.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Birds having fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Birds having fun.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Birds having fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, birds having fun. The birds are having fun.
Go, go, freestyle. Birds having fun.
Oh,
Birds having fun.
the birds are having fun.
Birds are having fun.
They're sipping on their honey.
They're sipping on their honey.
You know they like to party.
You know they like to
You
party.
know they like to get litty.
You know they like to get litty.
When the sun goes down,
The sun goes down.
those birds get around.
Those birds get around.
Yeah, when the sun goes down.
Yeah, when the sun goes down.
Oh, those birds flipping around.
Pooping? Oh, floating?
Flipping around.
I think that was our new birds having fun, and we hope you guys enjoy. We should do like a little producer tag. What should it be?
Way too random.
Yes, I like it. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Way too random.
But I don't think it should be so hard. It's like
Yeah.
birds having fun, so it's like
Way too random.
I like it. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Way too random. I like that. And with that, we're
Bye,
out.
guys. Peace.
Peace.